All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to pCloudy's webinar on pCloudy 6.1 App Testing Enhanced and Accelerated. My name is Dinakar, and I'll be the host for today. Before we get started, I would like to go over a few housekeeping rules. Your line is currently muted. However, you can submit your questions during the webinar through the chat option at the bottom of the screen. We will answer your questions as part of the Q&A section at the end of the webinar. Please note that this webinar is being recorded, and we will send out the link of the recording to share with your colleagues later. With that said, let me introduce the speaker for today, Shoaib Ahmed. Shoaib is a lead pre-sales consultant at pCloudy. He has around 10 plus years of experience in the IT industry. Prior to his role at pCloudy, he has worked with Micro Focus as a pre-sales consultant for application delivery management portfolio, catering to technologies such as DevOps, automation, performance, cloud, and mobility. Without further ado, let me hand it over to our speaker, Shoaib Ahmed.
Thank you so much, Dinakar, for that overview. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much again for your time for this webinar. So we will be discussing about the new features and enhancements that we have brought within pCloudy 6.1. 6.1 is a new release, so we will look into detail about the new features and capabilities that we have bring in. So without much delay, let me just get started. A quick agenda. So we'll have a quick introduction about pCloudy and we'll talk about some of the features and capabilities that pCloudy brings in for both mobile and as well as browser testing. And then we will have a quick overview on the pCloudy 6.1 features that are released. And we'll have a quick product experience tour. As we have launched a new UI, we will run through the new UI to showcase how the product looks. And we'll take you through the features and discuss in detail during the demonstration. And there are some other features which we have brought in, like self-healing plugins and also some of the APIs for the mobile actions. So we will look all these in detail in today's presentation, followed by a demo. And at last, we will have a quick Q&A session. I'll try to cover the session in 45 minutes and try to keep last 10-15 minutes for the Q&A. All right, and in case if you guys have any questions in between, you can always use the chat option to write in your queries. So with that, let me just get started. All right, just to give a quick overview on what pCloudy is. So pCloudy is basically, it's a continuous testing cloud platform which provides access to real devices when it comes to mobile section for both Android and as well as iOS platform, where you can test all your different types of applications, be it native, hybrid, progressive web apps, and mobile web apps, along with the features and capabilities that brings in for both manual and as well as automation testing from pCloudy standpoint. Plus, for the browser-based applications, we have a browser cloud instance where you can test all your web-based applications on different real machines, be it Windows or Mac machines with different OS versions, different browser capabilities. So pCloudy, overall, it's a one-stop shop for all your mobile and web application testing. So if you look at it, there are 6 pillars that is primarily the product is focused on. So the first is from the device cloud. So as I said, we provide the device lab infrastructure where we host different devices from the mobile section for both Android and as well as iOS with different manufacturer, make, model, different screen resolutions, where you can test all the different types of applications. On the other side, there's a separate browser instance where you can test your web-based applications with different screen resolutions, capture screenshots, also test any dev environment applications if there are on real Mac machines and Windows with different browser compatibility. Rapid automation is more from test creation purpose for automation. We also have another flagship product called as Opki, which is basically a zero-code automation. So anyone can create the script in an organization without even having knowledge on the programming skills. So you have a record and replay option where you record the entire scenario and every step gets captured in a simple English language, and the same can be integrated with pCloudy devices and execute automation. On the other side, when we talk about APM tools, open source tools, especially around APM, where we have seamless integration, where you can test all your automation scripts for both Android, iOS, and when it comes to the web applications, it can be very well integrated with the Selenium. So pCloudy also has an inbuilt feature which talks about how you can inspect the objects and elements for the native apps when it comes to object spy feature. And also the automation can be executed on higher number of different devices at the same time, thereby achieving the parallel execution and running it on more number of devices. That helps in faster execution of the automation, which eventually helps in the productivity and also the increased ROI. pCloudy also provides a test analytics in terms of providing you the reports of your sessions, be it for manual or automation, with all the different findings, with different parameters like capturing performance metrics, which could be in the form of the CPU, memory, battery consumptions, network logs, and also from the device logs perspective, and any screenshots, and also the video. So all that comprehensively we are providing as part of the report section, which can help you further deep dive and analyze your results. And our product is also DevOps ready tool. So pCloudy can be integrated with any CI servers, be it Jenkins, TeamCity, Bamboo, Azure DevOps, and so on. Right. So that's pretty much about on the pCloudy offering side. And we have been also recognized by Gartner in the recent report for the how to build an effective remote testing platform. So that's one of our biggest achievement which we had in this in the year 2020 from the Gartner report. Apart from this big achievement, we are also highly recognized and recommended on G2 as well. Some badges that we have consistently won, every quarter, and that is considerable after every quarter and quarter, which resulted in best ROI, also easiest setup for setting up the cloud, and also high performer, etc. And we are also proud of many of our partners and clients we serve across the globe, making us the global competitor in the testing space. So with that said, let's dive right into the latest update we have in store for you with the launch of pCloudy 6.1. So when we talk about pCloudy 6. Overview, so here is a brief overview of the latest features and upgrades we have made on the platform. You may have already noticed that we have transformed the look and feel of the platform. The new product experience was designed with a tons of feedback from the users and also inputs from industry experts. So the new product experience is aimed at making your navigation effortless, integration seamless, and the overall experience is a delight. So we'll take a tour on the new platform and take you through the changes that we have done. So on a high level, these are some of the important updates that we want to give around the user experience of the product, enhanced with a self-healing plugin. We'll discuss more about it and some other upgrades, and also some of the new devices that were added as part of our routine. So let's get through and understand in detail about the new product experience we have. So the new UI is already released and most of our clients are already started using. So this was created in mind with the aim to provide easy, seamless experience to the users with easy navigation, right, across the different tabs, different functionalities, features. Earlier, if you were already a pCloudy user, you would have noticed that change, and we have been successful in delivering the new UI with a good feedback on the new UI setup. And also considering the design standpoint, we wanted to keep it simple. so that everyone can understand without any trouble. And we've also clubbed all the different features, different sections, either be it from devices sections or browser, in one single page, right, where you can quickly get into the different sections which you would like to get started with. So it's a quick landing page which helps you understand what are all the important features that needs to be covered, or which you want to test it, be it from mobile side or browser side, or anything that's around the Certifaya or any other features. Follow me. So we are all. It's a simple view which helps you understand quickly around the different features that pCloudy is offering. And there is also a customized space we are providing it, right, that helps you minimize the features which you don't want to use in practical. There are a number of features, but certain features which you think of no use, so you can always keep that aside. So that helps you quickly customize based on your requirement. So that I will run through in the product demonstration today. And also we have integration with different platforms for the easy collaborations, like with the different test management tools like Slack, GitHub, or even Jira for that instance. So I'll take you through how that looks like in detail in today's demonstration. And another important milestone we achieved was releasing the a new feature which is mostly talked about in today's technological world, is the self-healing plugin. So what is the self-healing plugin all about, right? So this plugin, it automatically heals the test scripts which have already written in changes with your application. For example, if there is any new release of your app, and you've already created a script for your previous app, and when you try to execute, if there are any changes on the script will tend to fail unless you identify them, do the required changes on your script, and you run it, right? So that's something that we are following traditionally. Now with self-healing plugin, what it does is, with the technology support of AI powered, which automatically captures the locators, gets the locators directly from the Adobe. It creates its own locators, and it provides the dynamic content. So if you look at it, here is a quick snippet of the code. So here, if we are trying to, the test script is trying to find a button on the mobile section, right? Now with the new application release, there can be few changes on the button with the parameters, or different, or with the with the kind of image that it is bringing. And now once if it is not found, what it does is it goes back. I mean, it comes in, and the AI comes into picture here. So what it does is it dynamically creates the locators which are already available in the DB, Postgres DB. So which will fetch all the locators which are already present, and this will create the new locator with the dynamic locators, and it does provide. So this feature helps you quickly identify the change within the app and provides the right locator which is looking at. So you can try this out, which helps you for the quick fix of your application changes, if there are any application changes. So this is something which was really talked about on this feature, and we were able to get this feature on board on time. And yeah, we are looking forward for the feedback how this feature works, right? And if there are any feedbacks, we are happy to receive them, and we can take that implemented if there are for any changes, right? So that's about on the self-healing plugin. Some other upgrades, when we talk about that we have released along with the new UI, or product feature released wise. So we have launched the new streaming technology for the iOS, right, which is called as iOS video recording V2. Which, what it means is, for the end user is, we have developed a technology which helps you stream the quality video quality with the less bandwidth. Even with the less bandwidth, you should be able to experience the performance of the iOS devices. So that will help you even if your bandwidth is low, and if you are really experiencing some network fluctuations, or the low bandwidth, you can still get the output. The performance of the iOS would be much better with this release. And other features, when we talk about image injection, which is something of really need, we had this feature earlier, which was mainly targeted towards scanning the QR codes and the barcodes. Now with the camera mocking feature, right, where you can inject any image. So if your application scans any image, maybe it could be a bank check, or it could be an ID card, or any document that needs to be scanned. So now you should be able to mock it by using an image injection feature. So the prerequisite here is to upload the snippet. If upload the snap, it can be in PNG or JPEG to the cloud drive, and the application can be instrumented, right? So application has to be instrumented. So when we talk about instrumentation, so we add certain libraries to your existing file. So there is a small process which we have published in our documentation. You can follow that, and if there are any such scenarios where you want to test the image injection site, you can pretty much make use of it. And we have also released a network logs. So there was always a feedback or the request from different clients for capturing the network logs. Earlier, we used to provide network logs in terms of having integration with the third-party tools like Charles Proxy or any other tools. Now, pCloudy has this inbuilt feature which can help you provide all the network logs, all the HTTP requests and the response in the form of HAR file. So that is also released in this new pCloudy 6.1. And also, few of our customers wanted to test the different mobile actions through the APIs, like opening and closing of the applications, or even a tap, or even rotating of the screen. So how are you able to manage these? So it's really difficult from the UI side, even from the automation standpoint. If you want to rotate a screen, it's a little challenging through the capabilities, right? So now we have brought in some KPIs. We have developed these KPIs, APIs, and we have rolled this out as well, which can help you quickly use these different mobile actions through APIs from your script directly and perform the relevant actions. All right. So these are some of the important upgrades that pCloudy has brought in this 6.1 release. And we have added some new devices in, right? So in our last update, we had added close to 43 devices in the newly launched Mumbai device cloud, right? And this time we have added around 6 new devices on this cloud. And also we have added the new latest iPhone 14 Pro and 14 and 14 Pro onto our US cloud, right? So that you can really look forward. So if you are looking to test anything on the latest iOS devices, so we have these devices up and running on our US data center. Okay, so well, that wraps up the presentation and the latest features and upgrades that I have for you. Now we can quickly jump into the a quick live demonstration. Maybe I can quickly showcase how the new UI looks like, and also try to showcase some important features and capabilities that pCloudy brings in. So with that, let me quickly switch to the browser here. So device.pcloudy.com is the public cloud URL. And if you're a new user, you can always sign up to our platform either by just clicking on a sign up button. So there are some prerequisites. You can provide in your details, sign up by creating an account. And once you're in, you can log in with your credentials, right? And so we do have SSO integration, or in case if you need to sign in with your Google accounts if you've already. So let me just sign in and take you to the platform. I'm just signing in with my credentials. All right, so this is the landing page of the new UI, right, where it provides all the different options in one, on a single page, where we have different sections, be it for mobile section or browser section or any other actions that you're going to perform, right, either for manual system or even from automation side, the different automation tools that we support, and also some other capabilities. So it's just on a single page, so that you get to understand in a quickly without having any difficulties. And some other sections as well, where if you can just go to the dashboard, right? So where you can quickly try to understand different aspects, different parameters, like any new devices that are added to the cloud. You can get these details. You can also browse in for further more details. There is also a get started video on the right hand side, which can help you quickly get to understand. If you are new to pCloudy and if you want to create your first test, there's a small video which can always help. Plus, we have added some important parameters within the dashboard, which helps you quickly understand about different statistics like the total sessions, which talks about number of sessions that you are in over the period of time. So you can always filter them, can provide to, from, and to dates, and also filter based on devices or browser sections. So that will give you quick insights about your test execution. And if there are any sessions that are running in live, you can get this data in the total concurrent sessions. So right now I don't have any, so that's why I don't see any data. Plus, there's another section which will help you provide all the latest test runs that you have run till date, all the last 10 runs. You can quickly get that either again if this is for device level or even for the browser side. And also we are providing you most used devices versus browsers, right? So this is something which you can always look for, right? So if you are looking to understand which are all the top most used devices or browsers, so you can always check this from these parameters. You can always filter it if you are specific to some month, if you want to see what is the usage of the device on the particular month. So you get all the details here. And also other important parameters which can help you during your testing to understand better. So this gives you a manual versus automation at device level in specific based on the usage, and also we are providing in terms of percentage. So this will again help you understand which are all the devices which are used more frequently within your team, right? And whether is it for use for manual or automation. So you get to understand the split, right, at a device level. And also from the device browser usage perspective, all the different devices that were used by your team, you get all these data here along with some other details. Again, this is for both device as well as browser section. You can always filter and get these statistics. So that can quickly help along with the date range here. You can always change the date range that you wanted to understand. And furthermost, all the latest updates, any latest releases, all that documentation links, you can get it from there. So that's pretty much on the dashboard side. So now maybe I can just go to the main page and take you through the devices section. All right. So let me just go into the device section. So this is the place where you can view all the different devices in a single page. So the devices that you see here are real devices that are hosted in our data centers. So you can scroll down, look for any particular available device, and you can get connected to these devices depending on the availability. So there are filter options. Again, we have changed the UI so that it's easy navigation, effortless navigations here. So you can always filter based on different operating systems, starting from Android 5 to Android 13, different versions of iOS with beta versions if there are any, different OEMs. So if you're looking to filter based on different OEMs, so we have this filter option for you. You can always do that. Screen size, we support different smartphones, tablets, and phablets, so one can quickly filter. Network, so if you're looking for any devices equipped with SIMs, you can always do that. You can just click on the network tab, and we will list all the devices which are equipped with SIMs. Like for India region, we have Airtel, Vodafone, Jio, and also for US we have AT&T, T-Mobile, and US Mobile. And location wise, so we have our data center spread across different locations. In India, we have it in Bangalore and Mumbai. One data center is in US and one in Singapore. So you can always filter if you're looking for any specific data center you want to connect to those devices. So that's about the location here. Now, so let me also talk about another section which is called as My Data. Again, so My Data is basically it's a cloud drive or the cloud location given to every individual user where the user can upload their APKs and IPA files and other data, right? So it's very straightforward. So if you have any apps on your local drive and you wanted to upload it to the cloud, just simply browse it from your local drive. So this will help you quickly upload. So you can pretty much maintain all your data here. this my app data section is restricted at the user level. So no other user will be able to access the apps what you have, right? So we can pretty much manage all your data here. Again, there are filter options based on file type, what file that you are uploading, if you want to quickly filter that out, or even from the size standpoint. And you can also, in terms of date, if there is any range that you need to provide and just get the data, you can quickly get it. So that's something we have done customization here. So that's pretty much on the my data side. Now coming back to the devices section, I can acquire any device here. Again, depending on the availability, this being a public cloud, you see some of the devices already in use, right? So that's because we have our customers globally accessing our platform, right? So at any given point, if you're looking to acquire any such device, you can always do that. Say, for example, you want to connect to Note 20 and this is busy at this point. Now I have to connect to this device. So what do? I look for any alternative here. Say, for example, I look for any multiple instance. I just click on Note 20. So I can see there is one more device that is available, right? So for most of the flagship devices, so we have multiple instances, especially around iPhones and some popular devices. So we can always come here and look for the alternate device. I can also click on more details to understand what is the hardware and the software configuration the device is having. And acquiring the device is very straightforward. As I said, depending on the availability, you can acquire the device. Just click on connect. The device gets connected. Once the device is connected, you can get started with your functional testing. So as you can see, this is the device interaction page, right? It's a new view again, completely by you can customize some feature level options. If you need not have all the features, all the different options that you see on the top left side, you can always remove them, right? If something which is not in use, you can always. So there are many such different features here that you can look forward and customize it accordingly as and when it's required. There are some other important features on the left hand side. So if you see it, all actions, again there is a new UI implemented, where you can at any given point, if you need it, you can just pull this up so that you get the feature, and at any given point if you just need to close it, you can just maintain it, and so that you can focus your testing on it on particular device, right? So maybe I can just run through some, so any application, install the application and do it. So if I want to install the app, I can just get into the Play Store, App Store. If there is an app already in my production, I can do that. Or if it's in the form of APKs and IPA, I can go to install button here and look for the application which I have uploaded to the cloud. So I have various different applications that are already up in there. So I can install any of the apps. So we do have integration with Microsoft App Center as well. In case if you're integrating, if you have your App Center and if you want to integrate, you can simply provide the App Center token here, and you can get all your applications that are distributed across App Center. So for now, I can install any app here. Maybe I can install any of the sample apps. Just click on install. The application gets installed on the device. And as a functional test engineer, if I want to monitor the logs, I can pretty much do that. Just enable the logs. So again, these are the color-coded logs which I'm getting directly from the device, which I can stack trace, follow my test flow. If the application is getting crashed in between, we also provide you the crash pointers, a separate crash report, which helps you understand at which particular point the the application got crashed. Which in turn you can use it. You can take these logs, you can download these logs, and you can probably share it with your developers. And these logs are further you can be filtered with various different options like debug, warning, info, or errors. So that's on the log side. And from the analysis standpoint, again, if this is something which is required, you can get into the analysis tab to understand from the performance metrics standpoint, to see how intensive is your app in terms of consuming the CPU, memory, battery. Just use the app and select the application which you want to analyze it. Since I have installed this sample app, I can just simply click on select. So once I click on select, I'll start getting all the performance vitals here. So which are talking about the the usage of the memory or the CPU usage in real time, network usage in kilobytes, again the upload and the download in kilobytes, and then battery consumption, which is very important to understand, which helps me understand what is my battery consumption at the device level and at the application level. So all these performance vitals are provided while you're testing your application in live. And also these graphs, these graphs are also captured in the report section for you to analyze in the later stages in case if there are any specific needs. So that's something around reports. Transactions, again, if you are if you want to understand the transaction time for a particular action that you perform on the device, so you can pretty much make use of it. It makes sense to if you are testing end-to-end functionality starting from launching the app to logging off the application, right? But however, if there are any specific actions that you need to check the transaction time, you can choose the app as a first step. Again, just click on select and provide the name. Say for maybe example, I want to click on this accept button, right? So what I can do is I can provide the name, transaction name here, and click on start. So once I click on start, you will see a timer here, and you perform the action and then you stop. So of course you are doing this manually, right? So that's the reason why I said you can do it for the entire test. It makes sense to test it for the entire test, but however, if there is any specific action, you can do that as well. Just click on start so that the device in the app gets ready, and you can click on this icon and just click on stop, right? So again, this depends on the user actions that has been performed. If it's getting delayed, the transaction will vary. However, this will make sense during the automation. If there is any specific automation, if you're writing your scripts and you want to pass the transaction, so that will give you a better transaction responses time, right, for the different actions that you're going to perform. So yeah, that's how you can manage the transactional response time here. And other features on the left hand side, maybe if you want to just work with different features, again there are various different features. There are some features which are self-explanatory, like rebooting the device at any given point. You can just reboot the device, changing the language of the application. If in case if your app supports, if you want to change it to different languages, we have support for all the different languages here. Network simulation, again very important. If you want to test your app on different network profiles, say 2G, 3G, 4G, and so on, with some customized profiles. So what we have done is we have throttled our Wi-Fi with different upload and download speeds and created these profiles. So at any given point, if you're looking to test on any of these profiles, you can come here and test it. Say for example, I need to test this on 4G data. I can come here, click on share. So once I click on share, this network profile is given to the device. So whatever actions that I do on this device would be under 4G data. I can go to the device info and check under what network profile I am in. And at any given point, if I want to switch, I can just unshape it or go back to the network profiles and change from one profile to another profile. So that helps you understanding from the network standpoint how your app performs. And location, which is again, if your application is a location aware app, and if it feeds the data based on the location that you have selected, and you want to mark the location from different part of the world, right? So in real time, how we do, we need someone to be locally present with the device at the various different locations in order to such scenarios. So with pCloudy, you can actually select, you can actually mark the location, directly from this place. So say for example, you have a banking app or a grocery application for that matter. So what does the grocery app do? It detects the user location and provides you the nearest stores, or even the delivery time, how soon they can deliver. Now if you want to mark the location, you can simply come here, click on mark location, the Google map will come, and this device is hosted in Bangalore. Now if you want to mark the location from different part of the world, I can just go there, click on the location, the corresponding lat and long information will be captured. On clicking on set, this will be given to the device at the API level, right? So now if you try to relaunch the app, you can, or relaunch the app, or if you try to detect the location from within your app, the app will detect the location which we have set through the coordinates, and this will start giving you the data as if you're testing in that location. So if there are any such scenarios where you want to test it with location based scenarios, you can pretty much do that. Many other features, Adb commands, mostly used by the developers. You can execute various different Adb commands, just execute and get the output instantly. Chrome Debugger, this is for inspecting the mobile-based web application. So if you have a mobile-based web applications and you want to test the objects and elements or understand the network logs, HTTP requests, HTTP responses, you can pretty much make use of Chrome Debugger. So for Android, we have Chrome Debugger, and for iOS, similarly, we have Safari Debugger. Web URL, if it's a mobile based web application and you want to test it across different browsers, so we have support for different browsers starting from Chrome, Firefox, Microsoft Edge, Opera, and so on. So by default, every device comes with a default browser, right? And that's Chrome for Android, and for iOS, it's Safari. Now, if you want to test it on a different browser or with the different versions, so based on the availability of the browser, so we have added certain browsers to the list, so which you can quickly change at any given point and test it on these browsers. So you just provide the URL, select the browser of your choice, and then launch it. So once you launch the browser and the app gets launched, and you'll be able to test it against that feature, right? So that's on the web URL side. Wildnet again, this is for testing your internal apps. If there are any internal applications which are accessed only in your private network, not outside public network, but however you want to test it on the cloud device, right? So we have this feature. So there is a small utility. So if you click on here, this will take you to a documentation which talks about how you can configure the utility. So there's a small utility called pCloudy Desktop Assistant, which you can install it on your local machine and configure. So we have provided all the steps here for Mac, Windows, and Linux machine. Just configure and configure the details with your credentials. And once that's configured, you will be able to access all your internal apps. For example, so once you configure, you have to activate the OneLight utility, okay, on the device as well as on the utility. Once that's activated, you can start accessing your local apps. So here I'm trying to access the Jenkins URL, which is internal, which is working on my machine, right? So if I need to access the same, I can use this feature. So that's something from the in installing the testing the internal apps. You can capture screenshots if there are any defects. You can just simply click on screenshot. The screenshot will be captured in 1:1 pixel, which you can further edit, delete, and download. And not just that, you can also collaborate it. You may also further edit if there is any specific defect that you want to highlight more precisely, right? Maybe this particular icon is in the wrong place. I'm just taking a hypothetical example. Just provide some meaningful name, confirm, save. And also not just that, you can also collaborate it on various different platforms. So as I said, so we have integration with Jira, so you can simply log a bug. So if you're using Jira for defect management, just simply click on log a bug in Jira. Of course, you have to authenticate with your Jira credentials. That will be a one-time activity. Post that, you'll start seeing all your project details here, and you can log whether if it's a bug or a task, and then capture the defect, provide the summary details, and also you may capture the evidences in terms of screenshots, logs, and everything, right? So once you have this, you can just log a bug, and once you log a bug, the bug will be logged in the Jira instance, and you will be notified with the bug ID. So this will help you collaborate your findings with different teams based in different locations, right? So thereby enhancing your testing timelines again. So that's how you collaborate. And yeah, as I said, so we have from the new feature standpoint, um, for the in specific to the mobile actions through the API. So if you want to rotate the screen through the API, we do have for opening or closing the app or performing any action. So there are, but otherwise from the UI side, you can just rotate the screen and test your application in the landscape mode, provided your app is supported. Zoom in, zoom out functionality for you to test the UI quality of the app. In case if you need to test the UI quality of the application, you can pretty much make use of it. Certain soft keys available, which helps you go back one step in the application or go to the home screen or even open multiple apps. That's there on the on the device section. So yeah, so these are some of the important features that I have taken you through. Maybe as I said, so these are very much user friendly. You can at any given point you can customize it based on your review. So this is a transaction which you are talking about. There is a customized report further which you can download it for every transaction. So that gives a quick overview about the package that I have tested on the device, on a version name, and then followed by a quick video, right, which helps you understand what you performed really on that particular transaction, right? I just clicked on the accept button, how long it took, right? What was the start time, end time, and then all the key performance parameters which talks about the CPU, memory, battery, and the network, right? So these are some details which are provided as part from the transaction report. And yeah, so once you are done with your test, you can also provide some meaningful name to it if you want to just provide, so that you capture this session with appropriate name. And once you are done with your session, you may release the device. To release the device, you click on release button on the top right corner, and you'll be notified with a pop-up which says your data will be cleaned up. So what we do, we uninstall the app from the backend, clear cache cookies, and also the device will be power cycle. So next time when you connect to the same device, the device will be in its original state. So this is more from security and compliance. So we understand from the security standpoint. So we are also certified with ISO 27000 and SOC 2 compliance. So you can be rest assured whatever apps that you test on our platform are absolutely safe. So with that, you can release the device. You can either go back to the devices or just click on view reports to directly navigate to the report section. So let me just take you through the report, right? So for every session, every device that you connect is considered as a session. And for every session, we are also providing you the reports. So let's get into the reports and try and understand what are all the parameters that we provide. So in the all report section, you should be able to see all the various different reports for your manual or automation sessions. So this is a device that we have connected. I can further click on view report. Again, a new look altogether with simplified options, and providing you the details of your device that you have tested on, session details, started, completion, total duration, and then also on what is the configuration of the device that you performed, right? And then all the key performance parameters here, like the transaction time, the transaction report separately, and then if there are the other memory, battery transactions, so all that are captured here. This will take a few more minutes, and once that's ready, you will get it. Maybe I can show it for other reports. And these are the snapshots which are captured while you're testing, right? Which you can further download them, and you can maybe share it among your team members. These are the logs and videos, right? So the entire session, the videos and the logs are captured, which you can share it among your team members or different members to further understand or analyze your session, or to reproduce the issues. So once this is done, you may also collaborate it. You may just click on collaborate, and you can log a bug. So that's how the report looks like, and these reports are shareable. You may just click on copy report link. Report link gets created, and you may share it among your team members. So they need not be pCloudy user. Anyone who has access to the link will be able to access the report. This is just for the easy collaborations, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it from mobile devices section. On the browser side of things, maybe I can quickly run through and not take much of a time here. So there's a separate section here from the browser. Again, we can get into the browser tab where you can view all the different machines here. So we have filter options. Again, you can filter based on browsers here, the supported browsers: Safari, Chrome, Firefox, Microsoft Edge, different OSs, Mac and Windows, different OS versions. Again, for Mac we have Monterey and High Sierra, and for Windows we have Windows 10 and 8.1. Again, with different versions of Mac versions: Mojave, Catalina, Big Sur. Correct. So you can quickly filter, and acquiring the device is very straightforward. You just have to click on connect based on the availability on these machines. You can simply acquire the machine which you want to connect. Just click on connect, and the browser will be connected. So once that's connected, you can start accessing all your web application, right? So that's the default browser. So now we have connected to a Windows 10 machine, which is on the Chrome 103.0.5, and it is hosted in India. I can start accessing my application, any application that I wanted to connect. For example, Amazon.in. Yeah, test it against various different resolutions. So by default, the default resolution is 1920 1080. If I need to change it to any other resolutions, I can come here, select the required resolution so that the screen gets adjusted. So it's very important to test against various different screen resolution to understand the behavior of the web app. Right, capture screenshots if there are any, if there are any bugs, and if you want to highlight them, capture them, and you can view all your screenshots in the gallery section, which you can further edit or download, just like how we did it for the mobile sections. Just identify and start highlighting the defect, provide some meaningful name to it, and click on confirm save. So once I confirm save, edited screenshot would also appear here. So that's how you capture the screenshots, and also you may collaborate it on Jira if you want to provide the log a bug in the Jira, you can pretty much do it. So we have seamless integration with that as well. So with that, that's pretty much it from the manual testing side. And now maybe I can quickly release this and go back to the overview session. And at a higher level, we are also providing you the reports for the browser session as well, just like how we are providing for the manual session for the devices side. So this will quickly brief you about on which specific machine you tested, what is the OS, what is the window configuration of the machine, right? Whether if it's Windows or iOS, different version of Chrome or a browser, which version of browser you connected. You can view the report again. Yeah, this will give you a quick overview details, session details. This is the machine configuration that I was talking about, and snapshots any. And very soon we will be releasing the video part as well for browser. Currently it's under development state, but very soon we are going to release that as well. So that's pretty much it from the manual testing side of the things. And when it comes to automation, the flow is very seamless again. You can get into the automation side, either if it's APM or if you're using OpKey for that matter. As I said, so OpKey is our internal solution, which is a codeless form of automation. So anyone can create the scripts while they are scripting. Of course, this is a licensed version. And other automation solutions that we support are Espresso, XUI Test, and pCloudy has also support for the visual AI, right? So there are some steps, some small piece of code that needs to be added within your existing code, so which will quickly help identify if there are any changes from your previous application release, just to identify the changes, right, in the app. So maybe we have a separate webinar conducted for the visual AI. If you want to refer them, we have published them on the pCloudy website. Please have a look at it. So the idea is to just to help you understand what all we are supporting. Okay. And yeah, and the rest of the things on the dashboard, again, these are self-explanatory. If there is anything that you want to understand from the utility side, there's a device planner section, capabilities tab. So all that are again simplified. Integration, if you're looking for integrating this with Jira or SSO configuration, you can just come here. And again, if you are an admin, if you want from your organization standpoint, if you want to manage the users, you can pretty much do that, which will help you understand quickly from admin standpoint, where you can understand the team information, how many team members are there. If you want to add them as a team user or remove them, right? You can also get the statistics of the usage either at device level or browser level, right? You can also filter with the date and duration. Team usage, again, further, if you want to understand the team-wise usage, if there are multiple teams, you can always get the insights about the team usage. And the device history, of course, you can get the details about the devices that are connected on the platform. Yeah. And yeah, we have also a community forum where you can be part of a community for regular updates on pCloudy, and also with the updates on the latest technology around testing. So you can be part of it. You can join in this forum, which will help you give a quick insights about our platform. You can just join in to our community as well. So there is a link. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I think we are close to the time, and maybe I can quickly now open up the Q&A session. If there are any questions, you can go ahead and shoot out your questions. All right, so there are a few questions that have come in. I can just start taking them. All right, so there is a query. Is it possible to interact with the same phone settings like GPS, network, and BLE? So the question is from Diana. All right. So, so since this being a public cloud, right? So we have restricted the access to the settings, right, on the pCloudy device farm. But however, if there are any specific need for you to, have access to the settings, you can let us know. So we can enable them. We can enable for you, so that you can test it for any settings that you wanted to change as part of your test, which you can do it. All right. Yeah, you can switch to the locations that you want. GPS, of course, as part of a feature we are providing, you do not get into the settings. You can directly change the location feature. But yes, if there are any specific settings that you need to change on the device side, uh, you can do it, right? But for now, this is restricted. However, if there is any specific need, you can let us know. We can help you with the by providing an exemption so that you can do the testing on the changes on the setting side. Hope that answers your question. And there's also one more question from Diana. Says, what is the purpose of Touch ID? Good question here. See, if the applications are authenticated through biometrics, how are we testing those scenarios on a device, on a cloud device, right? Of course, so these devices are hosted on the cloud. Now there is no way where we can have a physical biometrics, right? We cannot. So in order to test such scenarios, there is a feature called Touch ID, which helps you simulate the fingerprint. So what we are doing is, we are basically, if you see the Touch ID feature, there are two different options. One is green button and the red button. So when you press on the green button, the authentication, we are basically bypassing it, and that authentication get passed and your application gets launched. However, when you press the red option, which basically means you are failing the authentication. This is for required in case of negative scenarios, right? Where you send invalid responses to the application server. So what we do, we send some invalid response and our application will not get authenticated. So if there are any such functionalities needs to be tested with involves biometrics, so that's the Touch ID for you, that helps you test against the biometrics. And not just that, you can also do it through automation as well. We have created APIs for it which can help you test. Yeah, hope that answers your question. All right, so there's one more question from a user called Divya. She says, does it support API testing with complex Jsons? Okay, so our platform is mainly focused on the functional side of things, from functional testing perspective. All right, it's purely a functional testing tool where you can test all your different mobile test cases scenarios, be it from manual testing side or automation testing side. But of course, having said that, we have APIs section as well. So our platform is a REST API based platform where you can use these APIs to test your scenarios through any API automation tool, right? Or through, if you want to test it through the Postman or any other API testing. So you can use our APIs to test the features if you want to test as part of your application needs. But however, it's not an API testing tool, which basically our tool helps you test API scenarios through the APIs which we provide. Yeah, hope that answers your question. Okay, there's one more question from Arthurus. He says, are there any updates and new features on backend API generic on or an APM side? So well, again, good question. Thanks for posting out this. So there are some recent developments that are happening around APIs, especially around the APM side of things. I will certainly check that with my team and help you provide an update. Maybe I can just write one-on-one to you with the detailed updates where we stand at this point. Right, so that might give you complete details about the platform support, especially around the API side. Yeah. All right, so there is one more question from Liana. It says, am I able to install and run apps developed in Flutter? This is an interesting question. We have been hearing quite a lot from different customers, especially around Flutter. While if you are able to develop your scripts on the which are on the Flutter apps, right? And if you're looking for just for the execution purpose, then certainly you can execute your scripts which are developed already on pCloudy devices. You just have to integrate it and execute it. However, having said that, if you are looking for script creation and from the Flutter app, so that's something which is not supported at this point. But however, we are having a product analysis on the Flutter apps very soon. So you should be able to hear from us. But at this point, there's no support for Flutter app as such for the script creation. But however, if the scripts are already created and if you're able to execute it on the local device, then you can integrate with pCloudy and execute your scripts that are developed on Flutter app on the pCloudy devices. Yeah, hope that answers your question, Diana. All right, so thank you so much. I mean, it was a very good interactive session. I like the questions that came up. I mean, there are few more are coming. I mean, just look at the time we are just completing. So thank you so much for your time. If there are any questions unanswered, I'll certainly answer to you guys one-on-one through through the email, and I'll keep you posted on the updates. So thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to many more such webinar sessions in the future coming days in the next quarter. All right. Thank you so much. I hope the session was interactive and helpful to you all. So look forward to partner with you guys. In case if there are any queries, you can drop me an email, or you can also log into pcloudy.com and raise your concerns or queries that you have. Once again, thank you so much. Have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.